Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. Man, I am absolutely thrilled to dive into this one with you today. We're looking at a sneaky, hidden psychological threat that is literally draining your wealth, even as your salary goes up. If you've ever looked at your bank account and felt totally frustrated because you've been working so hard, climbing the ladder, making more money, but somehow you're still not getting ahead, yeah, you're going to want to stick around for this. We're unpacking the hidden traps right now. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll uncover this silent wealth killer. Then, we'll look at Parkinson's law of money, hit up the hedonic treadmill effect, figure out how to spot lifestyle creep in your own life, and finally, wrap up with the actual habits you need to build real wealth. Let's get to it.
Section 1, the silent wealth killer, and exactly why those raises just don't seem to last.
Okay, be honest with me. Have you ever gotten a nice 20% raise, or maybe a sweet year-end bonus, and then a year later, your bank account looks exactly the same? It's incredibly frustrating, right? You're thinking, wait a minute, I'm making more money than I literally ever have in my life, so why does it still feel like I'm living paycheck to paycheck?
Well, let's give this invisible enemy a name. It's called lifestyle creep, or lifestyle inflation. Basically, as you move up in your career and start making more cash, you just naturally dial up your spending to match it. And the really dangerous part? It happens so incredibly slowly that you barely even notice it. You know, it's a nicer dinner out here, a slightly more expensive gift there, and bam, suddenly your new upgraded lifestyle has completely swallowed your entire raise. It literally eats up the money you could be using to build actual long-term wealth.
Moving on to Section 2, Parkinson's Law of Money. This explains exactly why we end up spending it all. So, you might have heard of Parkinson's Law, the idea that work expands to fill the time you give it. Well, when you apply that to your wallet, the rule is brutally simple. Expenses always rise to match income. To put it bluntly, the more money we make, the less we actually manage to keep. It's just human nature to spend every single dollar we bring in each month. And honestly, with credit cards so easily accessible, sometimes we spend a little bit more than that. You see, high earners fall into this conspicuous consumption mindset all the time. With every new income bracket they hit, people inevitably stretch to live just a tiny bit beyond their means. They take on a chunkier mortgage, lease a flashier car, or absolutely have to get the newest iPhone. And usually, it's not even because they deeply care about those things. It's just to keep up with the status-driven world around them. It's a never-ending cycle of upgrading just to blend in with the new, wealthier crowd you're suddenly hanging out with. All right, Section 3, the hedonic treadmill effect. Let's talk about the happiness trap. This psychological trap is known as the hedonic treadmill, or hedonic adaptation. Here's how it works. You make a big lifestyle upgrade, and boom, you get this massive, incredible spike of joy. But eventually, you just get used to it. Your expectations rise right along with your bank balance, and you drift right back down to your baseline happiness level. It's literally like running on a treadmill. You can run faster, you can buy more stuff, but at the end of the day, emotionally, you haven't moved an inch. And to show you just how deeply hardwired this is into our brains, we have to look back at a really fascinating and honestly kind of shocking study from way back in 1978. So, these researchers compared the day-to-day happiness of actual lottery winners against paraplegics who had suffered severe, life-altering accidents. And the results were wild. Once the initial shock of their extreme situations wore off, whether positive or negative, the lottery winners reported being pretty much just as happy as they were before they hit the jackpot. It proves that sudden windfalls and shiny new purchases, they just don't permanently upgrade our happiness baseline. Which brings us to Section 4, spotting your lifestyle creep. It's time to find the hidden traps in your own life. I want you to do a quick mental audit of your life right now against these common recurring cost traps, because lifestyle creep loves to hide in fixed expenses. You might think, oh, moving to a slightly nicer apartment or getting a slightly pricier car loan isn't a huge deal, I just got a raise. But here's the thing, one-off splurges are easy to rein in. Monthly obligations, they permanently lock you into a higher burn rate. Even small habit changes, like turning a special occasion dinner into a weekly Friday night routine, will slowly but surely drain your financial flexibility over time. So, how do we fix it? Section 5, habits to build wealth and actually keep your cash. Let's walk through the first 3 core habits to beat the creep. Number 1, pay yourself first. The absolute best way to not spend your extra money is to never give yourself the chance. Automate your savings or investments the second your paycheck hits your account. Step 2 is a real game changer. It's called lifestyle lagging. Basically, if you get a 20% raise, do not upgrade your life by 20%. Delay any big housing or car upgrades for at least 6 to 12 months. Just pretend you only got half the raise. And step 3, sit down and do a ruthless lifestyle audit every 6 months to catch all those sneaky little subscriptions and delivery fees. You also have to get really honest about your needs versus your wants. Because as your income goes up, luxury items have this funny way of disguising themselves as absolute necessities. A fully funded emergency account and investments, those are needs. Impulse upgrades and spending money just to fit in, those are definitely wants. A super easy way to handle this is the 30-day rule. Before you drop cash on a big, non-essential item, just wait 30 days. Ask yourself, is this actually adding value to my life, or is it just another quick hit on the hedonic treadmill? To round out our tactical guide, we've got 4 more habits. First, like we said, fiercely avoid those recurring cost traps. Second, try swapping out consumption for experiences. Having friends over for a dinner party or hiking a local trail builds amazing memories, and it doesn't inflate your fixed monthly budget. Third, set really clear financial goals, like a down payment or retirement target. When you're actively tracking progress on a big goal, impulse buying suddenly feels way less appealing. And lastly, beat the social pressure. Remember, the ultimate flex isn't wearing designer clothes. It's having quiet, stress-free financial freedom. Now, if you want a shortcut to bypass Parkinson's law altogether, the simplest solution is this: just pretend you earn less. You have to willingly step off the status-chasing treadmill. I mean, you don't have to live like you're broke, but you can totally choose to stay in your perfectly fine, cozy home instead of upgrading to a mansion just because your new salary says you technically can. By actively choosing to live below your means, you build a massive protective wall between your income and your expenses. Ultimately, this whole thing boils down to a massive mindset shift. It's about migrating away from mindless spending, where you're just on autopilot, reacting to habits and what your neighbors are doing, and moving toward values-based spending. When you actually sit down and align your money with the things you truly care about, your spending naturally takes care of itself. Intentionality is the real fix here. Just making more cash is not going to save you. I really want this core takeaway from our explainer to sink in today. The secret to financial freedom isn't earning more, it's keeping more. If you can grow your income while keeping your expenses flat by dodging that hedonic treadmill, your wealth is literally going to build itself. It becomes automatic. So I'm going to leave you with a final provocative question to chew on today. How much is enough for you? And does that definition of enough really need to change just because your paycheck got bigger? I challenge you to take these frameworks, audit your own spending, crush that lifestyle creep, and completely rewrite your money story. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this explainer today, and happy wealth building.